Santiago, the CEN-CENELEC Director General. First of all, I think that I need to say that I am a woman, I am a family mother, I am an engineer, and I am the CEN-CENELEC Director General, so very much involved in standardization for the last 24 years.
My present role is Chairman or President of CEN, and I am as well CEO or Dean of École des Mines of Paris, and my background is a civil servant working in private companies, startup, big groups, and also research in public sectors.
I am Dany STURTEWAGEN. I am the Director Corporate Affairs for a Belgian family-owned company by the name of Nico, who specializes in domestic switches and socket outlets, home automation, and lighting control. The single market, one of the most important contributions of standardization is the contribution to the single market we have. It's one Europe, 34 countries, more than 500 million people, and giving the possibility to travel goods and services all over Europe.
Clearly, one, standards build trust. A company can buy a product more easily, especially international trade, when buyer and seller share the same vocabulary. For goods and services, this common vocabulary has the name standards. Between companies, but for citizens as well, there is a stronger and stronger reluctance against risk among citizens. And from time to time, lack of confidence in some official bodies. Standards have a strong asset. People trust standards, being in most cases national, international, and European at the same time.
It's difficult to mention only one because I think that there are so many. However, I think that the biggest benefit of European standardization is to be able to build consensus, to put together different interests, different parties, and to manage to get people to agree on solutions that are going to improve the economy, but also to have a huge impact in the society. To support the single market. I think there is no doubt. CEN-CENELEC were actually established in order to help free circulation of goods in the European market. We have now a collection of around 23,000, 24,000 deliverables, and our standards, what they do is to make sure that products, safe products and services can circulate in the single market. Full technical harmonization in Europe, so for sure this is the great success, and I think that it will continue being the great success no matter in which shape we deliver standards in the future.
I am now Director General of École des Mines de Paris. 25 years ago, I developed in Italy the subsidiary of a startup created by a researcher from École des Mines de Paris. Startup dedicated to life cycle analysis, it means environment. This startup had a strong influence on the French standard that became European one, and now this is the ISO 14040 on life cycle analysis. Standard was useful to valorize research results. Standards gave values to this startup. This standard is now a milestone for many actors, public or private, eco-labeling, eco-profiles, assessment of policies on environment. The Green Deal is a huge commitment consistent with the mitigation of climate change challenges. Without trust, we cannot succeed facing those challenges. And this is for me a beautiful story, with a personal story, with a clear connection between science, research, state-of-the-art, helping discussions between industry and non-governmental organizations on issues regarding the most important challenge of this century.
As a person working for the industry and not as the president of CENELEC, I should say, one of the most important one for me is the voltage rate we define to 230 volts. This has a tremendous advantage for the whole of the electrotechnical industry all over Europe.
It is important to continue our work towards strengthening the European standardization system and ensuring the timely citation of harmonized standards in the official journal of the European Community. Harmonized standards provide legal certainty and reduce compliance costs for companies, thus increasing trust in a smooth functioning single market. The renewed dialogue with the European Commission is already helping to reduce the gap and to reduce the backlog. Nevertheless, more needs to be done to define a more organic, long-term solution that involves all interested parties.
European standardization will have a bigger role to play, in my opinion, in the international arena. Trade is becoming more and more global, the world is becoming our market, so exchange of goods, services and so on will increase. And so will the need arise to tackle issues such as innovation, environment, digitization, smart applications, etc.
The priorities for CEN-CENELEC are established in the CEN-CENELEC Strategy 2030. We have just approved the strategy in November 2020. We finished our ambitions 2020, and I think that we can summarize that with a strong commitment with our European policy makers and regulators, so that they recognize the value that we bring, but most importantly that we work together to strengthen the European economy and to protect the European society. It is also very important for us to be able to evolve to the next generation of standards, so to have digital processes and services and to adapt the culture, not only the processes, but the way we work in the standardization processes. Support for sure the Green Deal, the transition to the green economy, which is something that it is a priority for CEN-CENELEC. It has been already a priority before, but now it has been really reinforced, and we are very much eager. And continue with the diversification of our stakeholders. Something that we should not forget is that the standards are successful because they put together different parties. And there is an evolution in the society, in the economy, so we need to have young generation understanding and getting involved. We need to continue having industry, which is the engine of the standards making process, involved. We need to have gender responsiveness. We need to have to address disability aspects and to be able to include that in our standards. So these are the biggest priorities and challenges at the same time for us.
Standardization might look as very technical, but at its heart, it is a fully human experience. It means patience, diplomacy, and human relations. And it consists of building consensus and finding agreements.
Standardization community is an impressive network worldwide. When you give to standards, you will receive a lot as well.
Standards build trust. Trust the standards. Trust is something that we need very much today in every single dimension of the economy and the society. And I really would like that the whole Europe, but mainly the whole planet, understand that standards are a beautiful tool to build trust. So trust standards because that is going to help us to be more competitive, but also to ensure a better world for everybody.